People, deluded. Now I'm back again. Now this is what I mean about being put onto players, because Robert Skov, I cannot say his name. I've seen him in the Europa League, but I didn't bat an eyelid to him really and truly. But some of you watched him under more of a keen eye and stuff like that, and I was seeing comments in my YouTube every now and again. Oh, do a vid on Robert. Do a vid on Robert. Have you seen Robert of Copenhagen? Have you seen him this and that? And I would reply, you can go, yeah, I have, but like, I wasn't taking him in like that. And I was like, alright, cool, man. I don't necessarily listen to opinions, but so many people are saying this. Let me pre him. And I still think there's a lot of uncharted waters and stuff, but I think he's an interesting profile, man. I think he's got a lot of developing to go under. So at this point in time, in this April, unless something happens, and hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I think he'd be more worth the German clubs or the Spanish clubs or the lesser, excluding the top 6 Premier League sides, to take a chance, because yeah, you just never know if he'll be up to standard. But I must admit, people, he does look like he could be a very good player. Not here to say potential. What I like about him is, first and foremost, he's an intelligent man. He can play on either flanks and I think a couple other positions, but from my knowledge, you lot know more than me. He can play on either flanks. What I like about him, again, is his brain. He's not the quickest. He's a very good technically based player. So he has to outsmart his fullback or outsmart his players with smart little feints and linking up well and just making decisions quicker, seeing the pass, seeing what he's going to do with a pass before he's been played the ball, sort of thing. I know you lot that play football understand what I'm getting at. My manager always used to tell me, and also when he passes a ball, he follows the man. My manager always used to tell me, if you play a good pass, mate, don't sit and admire the picture. Don't think, what a wonderful picture I've done. Go and be a part of the next one. So he does a lot of that. He's got a very calm head in the final third, which many young players, I know he's 22, so he's got to be developing even more, but many young players don't. He doesn't panic. He's able to find and pick out teammates. And sometimes in some situations, I've seen World Cup winners not pick out that pass or make the wrong option. So he's good at that. He's got a free kick on him as well. He's left-footed, but he's not afraid to use his weaker foot. He's very much an Arsenal player in terms of the culture. He just lacks a bit of pace, in my opinion. He's not slow, but just lacks pace. Got physicality. He scored a couple headers. I think he's 6 foot plus, so the physicality is there. He scored 26 goals or 20 over 20 goals. I think it's 26 goals in 23 appearances. Or it could be 23 goals in 26. It's anyway. He scored 20 goals, double figures in Denmark, in his homeland for Copenhagen. Obviously, we have to discount a lot of that because of the standard of the league, not to be disrespectful. But at the end of the day, that's not a fluke. If he's scoring them goals, that shows you someone that's proactive, scoring different goals, someone that's taking different chances. Ultimately, we need that sort of thing. So he's got an eye for goal. He's very cultured, very technical based, very gifted with a football. He glides past people. He's very great. He's very much a graceful individual, man. So it could go two ways if he was to sign him in games that is tight and stuff like that and things like that. Him, you know, when it's tight, it's 11v11. There's not much space. He could thrive in that because he's good in tight spaces. He's good under pressure. He can link up well with things like that. But games where we need a bit of openness, a bit of raw physicality in terms of pace and power and things, he might not be that. He's not slow. Don't get me wrong. He can beat a man, but he's just not that. So he is he is a very interesting profile to keep looking at, man. I think he's a good player. He's only 22, man. So yeah, we should look at him, to be fair with you, and put him. Do you know, I wouldn't mind if we brought him in, to be fair. Admittedly, people, I'd like to go for other targets because no signing can be an assurance, but you're looking for confirmations. For me, I like him. I've seen him. But am I completely convinced? I'd say no. Out of 100%, I'd say 50 to 60%. If you go for someone like Brandt now, who I've seen more under the eye, I've seen play at a higher level, I've seen do things, that's 100%. I know what I'm going to get. But even then, we don't know. Every signing is a gamble. Scouting or just looking at players in general, people, it's all a risk. Apologies, people. It's all a risk. It's just people. You use different signs or different statistics or different contexts to kind of hedge against it. It's all an educated bet. You could sign Cristiano, like how Madrid signed him. They signed Cristiano Ronaldo for 80 million. It's been backed up and he was sick. But it's still a risk. Who's to say he couldn't have been a flop there, like you've seen with many big name targets? Do you get it? Obviously, that's an extreme example, not necessarily the best, but you get where I'm going. Every signing's a risk, and to be fair, man, we've got to take risks and we've got to go for these sort of players before they bang already. And to be fair, if he's done bits in the Europa League from what I've seen as well. So away from Copenhagen, he's done his thing, man. You lot have watched him more, so you're probably more convinced. But like I said, 50-60 at this moment in time, in March, obviously in May, football changes, it could be different. So yeah, I'm not sure if Denmark are actually in the under-21s championships in the summer, and I'm not actually sure if it's one of them where he's 21 and he's just turned 22, which he would still be eligible for the tournament. If he is, then we'll get to see him under the eye a bit more than where you can imagine scouts, etc. will be looking at him. But he's probably got a future move lined up already. Scouts are probably taking time on him. And yeah, man, I thought he was a good player, but you lot really sold me on this guy, man. And then I took him and I was like, nah, man, the Deluded community, you lot all need to be scouts as well, because you lot were out there, man. You lot convinced me on this guy. But yeah, man, we'll see how it goes on that topic. But I just thought, let me speak about it for you guys who are always saying, speak about him, should we go out and get him, this and that, and not seeing a vid. Apologies for shaking the screen, but people, yeah, man, I'm going to get out of here now. So yeah, comment, subscribe, and do the rest if you wish.